Welcome to 6ABC's Weekend Extra, paid for by Mainline Health. Here's Jessica Boynton.
A woman's body endures a great deal throughout the course of her life, including many common pelvic floor problems. On today's Weekend Extra, we're here talking with Dr. Marc Toglia, urogynecologist at Mainline Health, who will be sharing some insight and information that has to do with these problems. Hi, Dr. Toglia, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today. So we have a couple of questions for you here. To start, what types of pelvic floor disorders are women most commonly affected by?
So women as they age are prone to develop things like urinary incontinence and pelvic organ prolapse.
Okay, so when do women typically experience these types of problems?
Sure. Most women will start to notice these problems either during pregnancy, shortly after pregnancy, or sometimes several years after pregnancy.
Okay, and why do you think some of these health concerns are so difficult to talk about for people?
Well, I think, quite frankly, it's very embarrassing. Problems as they relate to bladder control, incontinence, prolapse. It deals with a sensitive area, affects a woman not only physically, but emotionally and sometimes sexually. And they're tough to talk about.
Right. So what kind of advice would you give for people who are kind of suffering in silence, who are too embarrassed or afraid to talk about it with anybody?
So fortunately, there's been a very rapid growth in my subspecialty, which is urogynecology, around the country. Philadelphia has at least a dozen experts now in urogynecology that can help. Plus, the treatment options have gotten to be much more effective and less invasive.
So, Dr. Toglia, is there anything women can do to prevent or lessen their pelvic floor disorder symptoms?
Well, like many medical conditions, it's important that one remains physically active, stays hydrated, but don't overdrink, try to keep your body weight in check, and exercise regularly.
Okay, that's always on the checklist, to exercise regularly. Are there any other treatment options that are available for people?
Yes. So for common problems like, say, stress incontinence, we may start with pelvic floor exercises, sometimes physical therapy, but there are some minimally invasive surgical approaches that are very quick and highly effective. For other problems like urge incontinence, there are some dietary modifications, for example, avoiding beverages with carbonation, coffee or tea that might irritate the bladder. Even cigarette smoking can irritate the bladder as well. In addition, there are medications that help to control urinary urgency and frequency.
Wow, okay. Well, all great advice. Dr. Toglia, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so 6ABC and Mainline Health are proud partners of Well Ahead Philly. You can visit wellaheadphilly.com for more important health information. And for women everywhere, I'm Jessica Boynton. Thank you so much for watching.
Well Ahead Philly helps you gain access to the information you need to feel better and live well every day. Thanks for watching 6ABC's Weekend Extra, paid for by Mainline Health.